Have you ever wondered what would happen if you just sold up and moved out? Well, we did. So we sold up and we moved out. Hi and welcome to the Quinta. It's absolutely glorious November day, although we do have some showers forecast. So with the help of some amazing workaways, we are clearing the burnt area down there. Go and show you in a minute. And in today's video, I thought that we might go for a little departure from the sort of vignettes that we've been doing for a while and tell you a little bit more about how we came to be here. So stay tuned. So this video has been a little bit of a time in the making, so sorry about that. I wanted to tell you a little bit about our last year, because it is just over a year ago that we left the UK for the last time, drove down through France and eventually made it here. After a long, slow drag down through France, where we spent Christmas, and then a freezing journey through Spain, we finally arrived in Portugal and saw the Quinta for the first time. Now, bureaucracy in Portugal does move at its own speed. So, as the paperwork went through, we set about sorting out the garden, planting vegetables, and generally getting ourselves comfortable. And it's been absolutely fantastic because we actually haven't bought any vegetables in the supermarket for 7 months now. Of course, we've also been spending quite a lot of time learning Portuguese, and we try every single day to speak the language. We just feel it's really important to fit in, you know, we're immigrants here. It's not a particularly easy language to understand and speak, I've found. But we're getting there. Reading it, pretty easy. Of late, we've really been in between rainstorms, planting trees, digging ditches, and generally pottering around as much as we possibly can. I can't emphasise how much rain we've had recently. At the moment, there are flood warnings in Lisbon, so it gives you a bit of an idea of just how much is coming down. Would just like to say that, you know, we really appreciate all of you that have subscribed and commented on these videos. It's absolutely amazing to have the feedback, it really is. So please keep that coming. One thing that was absolutely brilliant was having a real proper summer, and we really took advantage of it. And of course, the kids visited as well, which was wonderful.
Nicholas, Luca, enjoying it? Great? Yeah.
That was fucking low, man.
So things haven't all been completely positive, because unfortunately we did have a rather horrible wildfire come through, and that destroyed absolutely everything in its path, and we were very lucky to get away without the house burning down. Right, this is getting very close now. I'm just gonna go and have a little look and see whether we need to think about getting out of here for the moment. Alright, this is less than 1 kilometre away now. The only reason it didn't burn down is we had a jet of water on it all night, and that ran out literally the next day as we arrived back to see the devastation. So moving out here, it was not a spur of the moment thing. We really did do an awful lot of planning. It probably took us 2 years of solid planning before we were ready to start packing up the house. And of course, we had to take into account what the kids wanted as well.
Dogs and cats.
You want a dog, do you?
I do want a dog. Labradors are a great breed. I like German Shepherds, but you don't think we should get German Shepherd. There's a massive mountain dog, I think. I can't remember what it's called.
Macau de Serra del Estrella.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a massive dog. It's really cool.
Bettina?
What you doing? So whilst we were planning our departure, it occurred to us that it would be a good idea for Ev to get her HGV test. And of course, for that, she needed a lorry.
Where did you get it from?
Maud.
South London.
So I'm going shopping today, meant I'm going to go and buy a truck down in this.
I mean, technically, he didn't lie.
She's a really good driver, and she spent a lot of time before she even went out on the road manoeuvring the truck, learning its dimensions, and she passed her test first time. It's incredible how much stuff you accumulate over the years. Bomb has got off in the kitchen.
Is there anything at all that I can do? Let us know.
No, it's absolutely fine.
Fitting it all into a shipping container was really not easy at all. The other bits and pieces, such as loading the caravan up, well, that was a challenge, but at least we didn't need to tow it, because the Toyota, by this stage, had decided to rust catastrophically through, so we left that in a field in Woking. So after the slog down through France, we spent Christmas in Lyon, and life pretty much resumed normality, stacking wood and a bit of gardening. Before we knew it, Christmas was over, and we started our way down through Spain and into Portugal. And I have to say, it was absolutely freezing. We'd spent quite a lot of time looking at properties in Portugal, both online and physically. And when we saw this place here, we were absolutely blown away. And seeing it on photos is just nothing like seeing it in real life. Absolutely beautiful. The house itself is at 868 metres above sea level, so we have fantastic views all the way to Spain. We're looking forward to renovating some of the old properties on here. One is like stepping straight back into the 18th century. So this is sort of like an update of Wattle and Daub. Literally, they've nailed planks in and they've infilled them. And for those of you who have seen us on Facebook, which is Howard's Portugal on Facebook as well, we've put up some pictures of where we've been cooking. And just look at that hearth. Absolutely incredible. So as I say, we spent an awful lot of time clearing land. It was very overgrown, a lot of Scotch broom and an awful lot of brambles. So we enlisted some machinery.
We've taken the decision to evacuate. You can see the flames there, very, very, very close.
The fire did actually do us some favours. It really cleared the land, and it also provided us with an overview of just what we had. Sadly, it did destroy one of the palieras, one of the barns, but we've got great plans for that. What we want to do is to convert this to a tiny home and make that available for people to come and stay.
Cute little courtyard. And there we go. Well, you've got to take the positives out of it. It saved a heck of a lot of clearing up. Wow, wouldn't this make a fantastic little camping spot? It's really weird how some things survive. Unbelievable. The hammock's just sitting there looking brand new, and underneath it the ground is absolutely scorched. It's rather nice. Eph had lost her bracelet, so just came across that. You're a hot girl. Well, this is the highest I've come up so far. You can see the truck and the paliera and the caravan and the houses and the last tank, which I hadn't seen yet. And this is the one, nice, that is currently emptying into the one down there because the pipe's bust, as you can see. So hopefully that should bring the level up of the other one rather nicely. Rather a nice place, actually. Set this up as a swimming spot. Definitely go for some of that. And once this is empty, I'll be able to come and clean it out, which is a real good thing.
Meanwhile, Maya had been growing up very, very fast indeed, as you're about to see. And we had acquired a cat and some chickens. Proper farmers. What are you doing? Not all of the work, of course, has been outside, and on the days where it's been either too hot to work outside or it's been raining, we've been tackling the inside. And one of the biggest jobs is actually trying to make our kitchen work.
How is the outside kitchen?
That's what I want. Sausages are on and
Yeah, we didn't.
we'll eat tonight.
Yeah, we didn't want to fire up the bread oven just for the sausages. And dog's got a bone, so she's happy. And I've already done one trip to the dump. Looks like I'm going again tomorrow.
It has been brilliant growing our own veg. We did have an allotment back in the UK, and of course in the garden we did grow things, but nothing like the quantity here. And we've been able to cook down a lot of the produce, bottle it up, and we're enjoying it right the way through December still.
That's going to be great. So these tomatoes, we've got various different types, and some of them are going to be ready to turn into delicious passata. And looks like we're having tomato salad for lunch. As you can see, hi Maya, thank you very much indeed for getting in shot. As you can see, we've had a little bit of a drought, and what happens with tomatoes is, yeah, it's perfectly edible, but when you water it, when it hasn't been watered for a while, thank you very much, they sometimes split. Right, let's see how many we can get. Plant to pan in 10 minutes.
It became obvious pretty quickly that the small tools that we had started out with were not going to be up to the job. And one of our lovely neighbours came down and showed us just how useful a tractor was. So of course, we ended up buying our own.
Well, this makes it a little bit easier to get around. I can get used to this.
Nicholas, meanwhile, seems to be thriving out here, which is absolutely brilliant. He's started school, he's made lots of friends, and he says that school here is really good. No aggression, teachers are lovely, they're respected, no misbehaviour, and that's just very, very pleasing for us as parents. He's also taken full advantage of the opportunities that being in this beautiful country has afforded him, and a bit of surfing came into that mix.
So what are we doing here?
We're surfing. Well, I'm going to surf.
Very nice. Do you know what this reminds me of?
What's that?
Watching a snake getting back into its skin.
Where have you seen that?
So we're now firmly into December, and it was really great to have help from Aymeric. Thank you so much for helping me to put in the wood burning stove. Without that, I think we would be a little bit chilly. As it is, we're very comfortable.
Yeah. Push it as far as it can go. Hold on. Are we centered? A bit more on that side. 1, 2, 3 on your side.
So, one door.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the days are a little bit gloomy, they're a little bit short, but it's wonderful to see all the reservoirs being replenished, the land sucking up this water like a sponge, and all the brooks running with this beautiful, fresh spring water. So thanks for coming along on the journey, and I hope that you'll continue to join us from time to time on here. If you've liked this video, please do like and subscribe, and as I've said before, we'd really love to see your comments, and if there's anything that you'd particularly like to ask us, it would be our pleasure to try and answer those questions in a future video. Why do I get teeth? Why do I get teeth? I don't need teeth. This is not helpful. I'm trying to do stuff. Maya actually really likes her chickens as well. Not sure they like her as much,